What will 7 days of extreme movement training do to my gameplay? From getting coached, practicing routines, mastering b-hopping, and analyzing my ranked games, I went through it all. Because last time I did 1 week of extreme aim training, but I was still stuck in Silver 1 and got hundreds of comments all telling me my movement sucks ass. So I am going to get that fixed. Let's get started with day 1. The goal today was to just get a baseline of where I'm at and see what I mainly need to improve on. Like I mentioned before, my aim is a whole lot better than my positioning, my movement, my game sense, basically everything else. And it is holding me back a lot. When I mean movement, I don't just mean strafing, b-hopping and jump peeking, but also things that will support my aim, like how to swing better, how to take angles and fights, how to move together with my team, and everything surrounding that. It is a whole package deal that separates aim labs, where you just click on blue dots, with a real shooter with real people that have real feelings.
Fuck just happened.
Anyway, this is what my day 1 looked like.
140 arena, nice shot.
Side plant and wall. One enemy remains. It's mid. Side. One enemy. No! Spike down.
Dude, I am so shit. Day 2 was research day. I put on my glasses and made a playlist with a bunch of different videos containing a large range of advice and routines that I could learn from. The first obvious thing that I need to work on is dead zoning. This is just the act of moving left or right and then timing a shot when the movement has completely stopped so you are accurate. You can see this easily in game with a graph. Whenever there is a blue bar, that means that I shot a bullet while still moving. And as you can see, that's a massive deal. It is also possible to counter strafe, which means that you just cancel your movement faster by pressing the opposite movement key. So I built a bit of a routine that I can practice every morning in order to get this down properly. Now, one of the most important things when it comes to movement is how you peek, because my aim was often better than my opponent's, humble brag, but I still lost a lot of my duels. I might just be shit, but a mistake I made a lot was peeking while still walking forward. This makes me a lot of an easier target to hit. By just going left or right and swinging at a 90-degree angle from your opponent, you move the fastest relative to that opponent. I feel like I'm explaining some advanced geometric calculus here. When peeking, it is also important to know what kind of swings exist and how to take them. There's the close one where you're trying to get info, maybe pre-fire or check a specific angle. There's wide swings when you want to commit to a fight. Obviously not something you would do when you have no info or you're up against an operator or a whole team. You also have off angles, which are less predictable spots to hold when you want to catch someone off guard, and the concept of being close or far away from an angle, because if you hold something from further away, you'll be able to see that opponent a little earlier. There are a few other important details when it comes to peeking I learned that I still have to work on, like when I swing into a fight, I need to fully commit. I can't just half-ass things. Confidence is important. This probably also applies to my dating life. When there is still multiple opponents, I need to try and isolate fights, because fighting 2 people at the same time will likely lead to my demise. It's also good to have a backup plan when you are holding a certain angle or putting yourself into a situation, just so that if they run it down straight into you, you're not completely screwed. It is also good to know that you can strafe without making the sound of a footstep if you don't go too far. This way you can peek while going unnoticed. Now there's a couple other movement things that I wrote down, but there's only so much that I can talk about and practice in a single day. So we will be doing that tomorrow. One cool exercise that I tried out, which I saw in a video by everyone's favorite banana and Valorant coach, was rebinding my forward input to pull out a knife. This way, when I wanted to take a duel or clear an angle, I was only able to strafe left and right with my gun out. A pretty brutal but very effective way to get it hardwired into my brain. Finally, let's take a look at my ranked gameplay from day 2.
I'm sorry, baby, I don't mean to be
What the fuck, bro?
You feel like me, then you got nothing to prove. I see him trying to do what I do. Yeah. Even my dagger couldn't move like a move. Yeah. You think you're how it look, I'm up on the moon. Yeah. Fresh to death and it came out of the tomb. That's cause I got a different type of gratitude. Don't be silent, got my power from the latitudes. And we did it the long way, check out the latitude. I'm gonna apologetic and fly. I don't wonder why, that's just my attitude. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's just my attitude.
Day 3 started off with my new training routine, practicing more dead zoning on the bots, running more death matches, focusing on my peeking, and some swift play to drill in some proper movements. A couple other things I was going to work on today involved air strafing. This is a way to move around while making yourself harder to hit. It involves b-hopping, a fancy way to just say jumping around. But the hard part is timing your jump perfectly when you hit the ground so you don't lose any speed and momentum. The easiest way to achieve this is by rebinding your scroll wheel to jump, something that took me a little bit to get used to, but not too big of a deal. Now, to execute a proper air strafe, you hold a movement key in a certain direction and slowly turn that way while performing your jump. It is very fun to do and also very addictive, and because I'm a masochist, I really wanted to pull off this fancy b-hop that I saw in a video. It includes crouch jumps because of the height, a 180 b-hop for which I actually just increased my sensitivity, and about half an hour of my time. But look at this. Anyway, another key element of movement is the jump peek, a way to get info around a corner with a much smaller chance of actually getting shot. This is just a specific key input that didn't take too long to master, and with all of that out of the way, I was ready to run some more ranked games. And for this one, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a different vibe.
One enemy remaining.
Give me the orb! Holy shit. Day 4 is an exciting day because I was getting some professional coaching. I sent over a ranked game that went really poorly on day 2, hoping that some advice would help me see where I'm still making major mistakes. Now, there were loads of valuable tips about utility, what I should be buying more, but I'm mainly going to focus on the movement tips here. He mentioned that my aim wasn't a problem. I was just making the duel super hard on myself because I'm still peeking wrong. I still sometimes move forward while clearing an angle, but more importantly, I track angles. Once he showed me this, my worldview just expanded exponentially. Literally, like the mind-blown gif. Or GIF, whatever. I move my crosshair smoothly when walking around and shooting people. And that's often dumb because I'll have to rely way more on flicking. How the pros do it is always pre-aiming. You put your crosshair right next to the angle, so when they swing you, it is likely just a free kill. Then when you go to move in, you pre-aim into the wall, press your movement key, and you're once again set up for a free kill if they are over there. This is a process you essentially do every single time you go to clear an angle, and it completely changed the way that I play Valorant now. He also told me to just take more space. Whenever I'm in a little bit of a dip, I lose a lot of confidence and I get scared to move in and take fights. But since I'm a duelist player, my main jobs are to take sides and get as much control as possible over the map so that my team can help anchor that space. Also, my post plans were really bad. I often didn't play numbers advantage with my team and held really bad angles. I didn't think a lot about my plays. I kinda just made them. Oh, what? I thought they were also long. And as a Reyna, I need to be a bit more unpredictable, take more off angles and get way more picks. After this session, I went through my normal training routine again, but especially focusing on slicing the pie more, which is what most people call the pre-aiming, clearing angle stuff, because you're kind of like slicing a pie, you know? I did it in some custom games, deathmatch, swift play, and then I was ready to try out some ranked games.
Okay.
Shot down.
Day 5 was going to be a grindy day. I went over the coaching again and all of the tips from day 2. Also extended my training routine a little bit and then spent the whole day running ranked games, which is probably still better movement practice than anything else, honestly. Now before we jump into that gameplay, I need to preface it by saying that today was pretty bad. Not sure why, but I was really having an off day. Maybe I was just tired or getting slightly tilted, but it reminded me that Valorant is such a mental game. There wasn't much consistency, but I still got a few nice plays. And another thing that made me really sad is this graph. Yes, less than 1% of people that enjoy my content are actually subscribed, so if you are enjoying this video so far and you want to catch more videos like this, consider joining that minority. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
Alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back, bro. All I really take is a little taste. I like girl blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chase.
You guys want 5 duelists? I got you.
Neon.
I can try. I've never played any of these two, so how to play Neon.
To reduce the risk of stunning yourself. Due to the here.
Defenders win.
Sir, wanna vibe at the getaway. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all got the semi-4-way. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the top, got time for no day. One, too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's in the whip, we left that. Can't remember anything.
Last player standing.
Good times. Live in the moment, feel like summertime. Assassination, not a world mine. The room is spinning, but I feel fine. Oh my.
Let's go!
Let's go! What the fuck, man, you're the best.
Day 6, the first thing I did was rewatch my games from yesterday, because I was lacking a lot of consistency and I wanted to find out what was happening. It was actually a little bit discouraging, because I was still making a lot of rookie mistakes that I shouldn't be making, that I have been practicing. I was trying to figure out why I still sometimes mess up my peaks or lack awareness or hold a really bad angle. Is TikTok really just ruining my IQ that much? And then it hit me. I tunnel vision really easily. I can get so caught up with aiming at people and focusing on a single fight that everything else just becomes a blur. So that was going to be my goal today. Going through my daily routines, of course, and then zooming out a little bit. Almost looking at this from a third player perspective, as an outsider, and thinking out loud about every play I want to make. This is also the reason why when you're watching your games back, or you're watching esports or other people play, it is so much easier to point out mistakes. So with this mindset, I was headed into ranked.
Got time, I make good meals. Go ride, I take 2 wheels. Come bring you that
will feel. I don't have trouble keeping days.
Enemy
I don't
remaining.
wanna sell 5 get 2. Always on time when the rent's due. I don't wanna grind just to get through. Trying to still wrong. Minutes are riches off clock when I'm coming on. Profit is labor unpaid. Feeling infinite, I'm in it all summer long. Natural ways, casual fit. 5 pocket Levi's, Adidas for kicks. 3-pack of black tees, easy a hit. See me with her and they seem unconvinced. How do you do that when it's all in the head? I take my time for feeling finesse. She feel alive, she don't wanna feel less. We stand in line, she rubbing my neck. I don't like lines cause I wanna be next. Even on a minimum, I innovate. I can fit a lot in a long day. Put me on a minute, let me demonstrate. I only keep time when the song plays.
Mid, one secret, and then one from our.
I don't got enough
enemy
time.
remaining.
He was here.
Get it off in my mind. Get it off when I'm all in. So fake, focusing live. And now I feel new. I know how to get loose. Slipping out of these shoes, these old Vans. Grown man,
One
and I'm
coming
getting
from,
bigger.
B to
Been so right. Sleep all day when it takes all night. Spend my week, I spend my life. I don't want breaks, I wanna take flight. I don't want money, I wanna be free. Gotta make money, I'm gonna be me. Gonna be bald and evolved and elite. Follow my calling along with the beat. Yeah, I may rise slow, but I make right, so I stay independent. I know any place I go in my state's my home, I said in a minute. Capital words, capital dreams.
Day 7. The final day of this 1-week extreme movement training experiments. I went through the usual training again, but really wanted to focus a bit more on slicing the pie because that is something that really needs to become very automatic. But I also did some reflecting. This week felt a lot more wobbly compared to my aim training experiments, because with that it was a whole lot easier to track my improvement every day and see myself getting better every time, while with movement training it is just a lot. In the moment itself it is hard to see how much better I was actually doing, if I was even doing things right. In 1 week my mechanical skill got really good, I was happy with the results, while so far these 6 days just felt like the start of my training. It was going to take so much longer to get on the level that I want to be at. Nonetheless though, I was going to give it my all today and show you what I was able to achieve in 7 days. From bad fights and angles, sloppy peeking, no awareness, to hopefully a better version of myself. Let's check it out.
Sometimes I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spill a couple bucks. Sending out some love to my blood, to my girl, to my buds, to the holy up above.
Got her!
And no more time for bigging up to these fakes who ain't around when the time's getting rough. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I pray for lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I pray
got you.
for lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes.
Loved you till my tears went silent. If this is war, I don't think I can fight. Had to let you go, let it flow, cry. Can't say we didn't try.
One enemy.
I'm bones and flesh, but I don't break. Built bones up so I can't escape. Wish I could say I was okay. What the fuck are you waiting?
6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I pray for lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I break the lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes.
One enemy player standing. One enemy remaining.
That's a rap, man. Enough of them facts, man. A slap to the face. Reality's back.
Under 12.
I'm trying to keep
Under
up
12.
and keep my stacks.
Honestly, I am super happy with the improvement, climbing from silver 1 to silver 3 in a week, getting very close to gold. I hope this inspires you as well to push for whatever you want to get better at. And if you want to catch my rank up journey and progress live, I am streaming on Twitch now from time to time, so consider popping in and saying hi. Thank you for watching.
One enemy remaining.
Hey, like an athlete, it's how it starts a fist fight. Your right to property is antithetical to Christ. Hey.